Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm on time today. I know y'all saying it can't be. It just must be an imagination. It must be a it must be a figment of my imagination, should I say. He's on time at 12 o'clock. Man, and they said it couldn't be done. They said it couldn't be done. But welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. That's all I want you to know. Welcome to the show. And want you to go ahead and hit that share button because we're going to talk about some topics today and be able to share with the public some of the things and activities that are going on. And we just want people to be aware that it's okay. It's okay to be able to enjoy sharing because they say sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. So, welcome to the show, you know, and I'm glad that you're able to make it today and come on in the house while I, set up and get ready for this beautiful, beautiful day. I hope that y'all can hear me. And if not, I think I got everything's working correctly. I'm on the line and normally I can see a little meter go off and see things that's about to share. But nevertheless, how y'all doing today? Is everybody doing well? Is everybody doing great? Because we want to be able to say it's a blessing to be in the land of the living, you know, to be where we need to be in our Father's house. So those of you that are coming along and coming through, so we want to be able to make sure that everybody is blessed to be here and enjoy a moment of commune, as they say in church, be able to join in and participate with the public. Just one moment. What I want to talk about today, let me get to my page. Today, I want to talk about the uh, that I've been long awaited, anticipated, the Real Adventures of Captain 85 comic book, and it's here. Well, it's always been here. I just decided to release the book to 12 o'clock tonight. 12 o'clock tonight. You will be able to go and hit the link and order your book for those that want to support this cause. And in order to support this, the reason why I'm doing that is because the cause is the mission to help our future generation, our youth, and adults that deal with mental health issues. This is the purpose behind the Real Adventures of Captain 85 coloring book. And what we're going to do, like I said, it'll go on sale. You can order it 12 o'clock tonight. And like I said, I'm looking and hoping that a lot of people support this cause about the book. And there's so many activities that go on in our community that it seems like everybody is involved, and I want people to be aware that when doing things on the World Wide Web, that you have to be able to enjoy uh, what you do. You got to do it, and as people always think and talk about, they'll say, "Well, in my area of the things that I have done and worked on, it always seems that the powers that be are always saying Mr. Vaughn is doing things to make money." Anybody out there that's listening, anybody out there that's listening, isn't everybody making money? Is anybody out there? Raise your hand. Did you open up a business and just because you wanted to do something? Nonprofits, churches, everybody has to make money. So when you're talking to city officials that tell you the only thing you want to do is make money, they really need to understand that the money I make is paying your salary. I'm paying your salary. And whatever you're doing your salary, you're not doing your job. Because I didn't work for the cities most of my life in the area. They have hired me to come and play at events and supported some of the causes that I have done. But at some point, the foolishness is if everything that y'all was doing was working, you wouldn't need me. If everything that you were doing was working, why do we have gun violence at a high and alarming rate in our communities? But you don't want to hear that. Because if yours was working, we wouldn't have the problem. It's no every one shoe fit all or something, as they used to say in the old school day. You can't come up with one formula that fits for every situation that occurs. But when you're having tax people, I mean, people on the city officials are telling the community and the taxpayers, the only thing you want to do is make money. Then why are you bringing in all the other people? Why are you bringing people from out of town to tell us how to raise and to solve a problem here? And this problem been going on for a long, long time. I done went to other cities and states and was welcome. But see, the thing is with me, I got receipts to show it. Where your receipts at? When you bring back programs that John Hopkins said that doesn't work against gun violence, you're using an old formula that alcohol and drug prevention. It didn't work. That's why they discontinue it. Now look at the situation with the drugs now. Everything that needs to be resolved, you're not doing it. I think the citizens of Virginia Beach spoke about approving the 10-1 system. The 10-1 system is that everybody in the city of Virginia Beach has an opportunity to vote for people all over when they're running for city council and for the mayor's office. But for some reason, y'all are continuing to spend tax dollars on trying to overturn something the government has already approved. How do you do that? Isn't that seems like there's something wrong with that picture when you do that? When the taxpayers have already voted and you'll continue to try to find a way to overturn something that every group, every nationality, well, other than the ones that want to stay in power, are trying to overturn. The situation is some people don't want things to change for the better. They want things to stay the same. And people that is qualified to do certain jobs, you try to keep them out of the limelight. But see, what I do is I go to the community itself. I don't need validation from the cities. I haven't been to other cities, but I'm born here. So I chose to come back here when I finished my broadcasting school education. I've been invited by top schools to come to their schools in other cities. They have bought books from me and used the program. This is a program. It is part of my nonprofit organization, Community Action People. So when we sit around and try to nitpick, try to duplicate what God has given me to do, how come yours ain't working? I haven't kept up with all those that have bought my book, parents have bought books for their children. But the letters and emails I would get back from them say thank you. Or when I see them out, when I'm about, and they say, because of you, my son changed his attitude because of the books. Because of the books. Ain't nothing free. Nothing in this world is free when it comes to our young people. That's why midnight tonight, you'll be able to go on my Facebook page and click the link and purchase a real of Captain85. What it looks like. I'm trying to get it so it comes without so much light because I have a lot of light. But to see that the book is available, so you can see. Each character on this book is a real person. Most of the kids and stuff are now grown. They are adult. This is a picture background that I've been going to for 73 years. And he said, well, how did you go to 73 years? Because my mother was pregnant with me and carrying me in her womb. So that makes me be there 73 years. The pastor, that's the pastor on the front, and a host of other people that you may know. But details on that later on. But this is the book. This is a large size for kids, and I have a smaller size for adults that would like to carry it in their purse, you know. And this size doesn't matter, but you know, some adults, you know, this is for adults and for kids. This one is a little bit smaller for people older, be more skillful in coloring because of the, you know, I had, you know, worked on one page myself just to see the type of medium you can use. That I use a little watercolor on this one, you know, for those that want to do, you know, that might be skillful in watercolors and they want to, you know, you don't have to wet the paper so much or the brush. And it you know, so you don't saturate the paper that it will bleed over to the next page. So that the pages, you won't bleed over. So with that, that's how it looks. And in the back, there's an endorsement ad purchase that before I even decided to release this book, I also had this gentleman now, his name is Dr. Adolph Brown, to endorse, to read it and give me his opinion on the book. So that's what that is for. So people can know, because he is a psychiatrist, worldwide, internationally, TV advocate and all that. So It's not a game. But as the people say, only thing I'm trying to do is make some money. Of course I am. Here's another page that I done, you know, just to show you, you know, you can do it for adults that, you know, want to take time and do something. But like I tell people, once you get to the hang of it and stuff, and with coloring pages, you can use any color on the characters you want. It's your imagination. And you see, here's another one. I think I did it in pencil. This is pencil, color pencils. And this one is color pencils as well. But you see, it didn't leak over. It didn't go through the paper. It's a different, each book. I try to make sure that the paper is right. And we'll let you know that this page is only used for certain mediums that you're going to use. You know, so it's, you know, but as you can see, the words are readable either way. And I hope that you will enjoy being a part of this journey and bringing information to the community that will stop and help with the mental health issues that occur with adults and young people. This gives an opportunity to read a story, and maybe they will connect with some of the stories, if not all. We all, you know, don't mean that we all have problems. It means that there are people, family members, or friends that might have a problem that this book will help you to identify with them. And maybe if they need to talk to a professional, that you can do that and encourage them to do so. And these are the key points I try to do in trying to everything that I do. I try to study it and research it. Some of these stories are real because most of the stories are real, but I just changed them around. No names were used. And not even the pictures of the stories identified with the person. They just drawings, but the stories were real because the involvement in the community and listening to people overall. And raising my kids, you know, being home with them and listening to their stories about situations in school or situations in the community when they was growing up. And as my kids would always joke me when they're around other people, they'll say, my dad would never let us go to the 7-Eleven store right on the corner, or across the street. He always would take us. Yep. Because I know what bullying feels like. I know what pains feel like when doing something. I go back to the time when I was going to school and my mother would always tell us to get our clothes ready every night before we go to bed, just in case we wake up late or be running late. We won't be late getting to school. And one night I didn't do it. And I paid a price. Was my mother right or was she wrong? In her day and time, she was right. So I couldn't find the socks to go with the outfit that she had gave me to wear to school. It was during the springtime, and we was wearing shorts, and we only stayed a couple of blocks from the school. And on the way to school, my mother told me, since you can't find your socks or a clean pair of socks or whatever, because you kept wasting too much time, and she didn't want us to be late. So she said, take your sister's Bobby socks. Like we wear the socks today. Just like everybody could wear the same socks, uh, gym socks or whatever they call them today. They white. So I had to put those on with short pants. And on the way to school, the kids teased me. Look at Henderson. He got on his sister's Bobby socks, got his sister's Bobby socks. And not only that, back then we had these shoes called bungo shoes, black and white shoes. And did I get teased the whole way to school? Man, that was the worst feeling I've ever felt. But I didn't forget it. So when I had kids or around kids, and people bullied them, I wouldn't let them do that. I wouldn't let other kids bully other kids in front of me, because I know the pain that they're going through. And that's what I'm concerned about. The pain and suffering that they had to go through to say, hey, why is everybody bullying me? Why can't I just why can't people just be nice? A couple of my kids were being bullied. I went out to the school. Teacher told me she didn't know that my six teachers, six teachers in Virginia Beach at the middle school told me that they did not know my son was being bullied. And I don't know if how many people ever went to school and talked to a teacher or a principal, and they tell you they don't know what's going on in their school. And I run a business, and I had 30 some employees and dealing with over 600 to 700 customers. And you're going to tell me that I didn't know what was going on in the club? Because if I did not know what was going on in my club, the city would have shut me down. And we're paying tax dollars to people to tell you lip service. We did not know what okay. Our future generation is at stake today. And what do you have in the arsenal that's protecting them and persuaded them not to become part of the problem? Because if they become a part of the problem, then they become in the system. And you don't want your child to be in the system. And that's the pipeline to prison. We can talk and advocate and saying, my child don't do anything bad. You're not with your child 24 hours a day. So you don't know what they're doing until it's too late. Most single parents are working 2 or 3 jobs. Even though you might have children, you know, like I know, everybody wants a life. Don't want to be at work, then go home, fix dinner, and go to bed and get ready to do the same thing over the next day. We want to go out and relax, be with our co-workers or friends, and enjoy a couple of hours just to wind down from the day events and activities. But what happened is we have not yet solved the problem of understanding that raising a child is the hardest job that any human being on the planet can have. I don't care if you're rich or poor. Got everything you need. It's not going to always work out. Because everybody wants the golden ring or the brass ring, as we used to say when you get on the merry-go-round. You're trying to get the brass ring. Everybody wants to be a winner. But even a loser can go through things and turn out to be a winner later on. Every path might be dark, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. But preventive measures are always better to identify a problem so that a solution can be found. With all the top minds in the world and all the professors and everybody with authority, if it was easy, why ain't you solve the problem? Because no man is an island unto himself. Whatever problem there is a solution, but it may not be the one you like. And that's when gun violence is brought in to people's introduced into a community or young people's lives. The Constitution says we have a right to bear arms. But when you do you see any fine print that says you have a right to shoot somebody? Do you have a right to take a life? You have to measure yourself to sustain the mental capacity it takes to not pull a gun and kill someone that looks like you, or just to kill a human being, not even talking about nationality or race, just to take a human being's life. I've been pushed at points times in my life to do that. I had an opportunity, just like everybody else, to carry a gun. You go get a permit, then go buy it, then take it to the police department and get it registered. And you have the right to arm yourself, to protect yourself. Once I had my gun, you couldn't have a concealed weapon at the time. You could only wear it on the side or unconcealed. You was by law you can carry it, but it has to be visible. And I went into a 7-Eleven store one time. I think I was about 19 or 20. And a customer in the store was saying, "You think you're bad, don't you?" I did not know him. In our community, you're always pairing the dozens, or people are joking, or you say, "I'll take that gun away from you. I'm gonna see how bad you is." I didn't say nothing. I didn't challenge him. I paid for what I went in the store and went and got in my car and left. And while I was sitting there at the red light, I took the gun off and put it in the glove compartment. And I never wore it again. Never wore it again. Because in my mind or my spirit spoke to me and say, that is why you don't need to carry a gun. Because you got people that's going to challenge you. He wasn't a threat to me. And if I took it as a threat, I could have took it and shot him and said self-defense. He said he was going to do something to me. He was going to take my gun. I have a right to protect myself. I have a right to bear arms, but know the law. I have been trained, took the test to get a concealed permit. And most people don't understand you don't have a right to take a person's life. There's a certain way and degree you have to do that to disengage the threat. I don't want to carry a gun. Whatever a person wants If it's that much valuable, I give it to him. Here you go. I'd rather give it to them. So if whatever he does from that point on is on him. But scripture said, whatever it is that gain the world, gain the whole world and lose your soul. What are you going to gain if you take a person's life? You're going to lose your soul. Because the 10 Commandments said, thou shalt not kill. We in this country now, if somebody look at you wrong, you're killing them. And you done ruined your life. If you turn yourself in or they find out who you are, or you running for years. But eventually, they're going to find you. We as a people must try to educate our young people about taking illegal drugs. We, the people, must band together and get information. Not to challenge, but to educate. It's called education. We're not in a ring fighting each other to win a trophy or to get a cash prize. The cash prize in talking to young people is when they understand how much you love them. I love everybody, even though they may not love me. But that's between their God and them. If I don't get along with people, I don't go around them. I don't go around them. I've been blessed to live to my age. I have a few friends, many acquaintances, but I look at everybody the same. If I can help you along the way, then my living won't be in vain. Everything I do is for a reason. Because if you don't have money, you can't help nobody. Because at some point, everybody needs money. And mostly our young people have to have a way to earn money the old-fashioned way, to work for it. And that's what I do, to design everything I design, to use my skills to create something that others will want, and they don't mind paying for it to help in return. We suffer in our community because we don't want to help each other. But we'll go to all the other stores, nationality, and spend all our money. And we only spend about 28% or less in our community, only 28 cents, maybe. I don't know what it is now. I haven't did the research. But it's still the same story. Because if it wasn't, how come we don't have a lot of Black businesses in our community? Then when we do, things are so high to get produced, then you got to have a team. Nothing is free. Everything I do, I pay people to do it. I try to help motivate people to do it. I'm a fine arts painter. I can paint and draw. I can do sketches because that's what I do. I do the sketches and write the skits out in the words and let them put it together. As they call them now, ghostwriters. Ghostwriters. I don't mind sharing the spotlight and say, hey, this guy helped me with my book. He drew this. Maybe you can get him to work on a project for you. And that's building everybody up that wants to be an artist, a writer, because if you're doing a good job, people will pay you for it. People sing, and most people say, well, why am I singing? Why should I buy your music when there's millions of people out there that's already got music out? Y'all all sound like y'all rappers, but that's not the way it works. You are engaging with creative content. God has endowed intellectual properties that the federal government came up to label it. It's created in the mind. It's created up here. That's why it's called intellectual properties, because you created it out of thinking. And we have to come together and show our young people how to use their ability to create things. Look at all the things that we have in the last 20 to 30 years. Now we could travel into outer space and return without destroying the vehicle that took the astronauts into space. Look at the technology we have, the internet. With all the technology today, all these companies, why did the government pass a law that they can create other internet services? Well, they got it. You got 3 or 4. You don't need no more. You got hundreds of thousands of. Look at us today as we talk. I had invested over back in the 90s or early 2000s in a company called Hello World, and I still got the first connection where you could dial people up and see them. Still got it in the box. Maybe it'll be valuable someday, that I purchased from Hello World and as a distributor. What we have to do is understand is we are responsible for the children we bring in this world. And the internet is not always not a safe environment or a place where we can do things and see things happen that benefit our young people. But as I continue as I try to explain to people what I do, I created WVDM Radio. This is the logo that you can go to your app store, if you're Android or Apple products, and download WVDM. This is what it looks like. And once you download that, you can listen to this radio station 24 hours a day. Right now, I come on today and every day from 3 to 5 with one segment called Frequency Distribution, and where I play a different variety of music, different artists, and gyros. And today, again, I'm going to spotlight 3. This is KC, the Dangerous One. KC is local from the 757, but I think he's originally from Memphis, Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. I hope he can forgive me if I say it wrong. I know his mother stays, I think, in Memphis now, and he always go and see his mother. This is what life is supposed to be like. He's he's a young man that's been working in the music industry. When he first started out, he been on tour with the late great Frankie Beverly and Mays. He also went on tour with the Whispers, I think, and a host of other recording artist when he, back in the day. And I just started playing one of his songs for my people, I think it's called or entitled, which I'll be playing today. So if you tune in between 3 and 5, you will hear one of his many accomplished songs. Another song that another gentleman, and they're all gentlemen today, don't get me twisted. This is the one and only Keith Broham. This is one of his newest EPs and song that I'll be playing today. It's, Keith Broham. Look by you. Look by you. Sexy. But I want to explain that we play a variety. He's an R&B singer with a little, I want to say, Southern soul or either country mix, flavor. But he's a brother from the 757. And we should be supporting a lot of our artists from this area. So today I'm support, on the Best of the 757 Community Talk Show. I'm supporting 3 young men. And just want you to know all the music that I put up can be purchased on all music platforms. And if we could support that, we could help. We could help them with their career and their dream. Everybody has a dream. And all we have to do is try to support the people that you select to support. Writing and producing, I don't know how they do it. I know it's hard for me sometimes to even sit down and paint. I have stopped for the last couple of years or more because of the medical conditions, but I'm getting better and hopefully be back to painting and creating some more activities. Once again, that's Keith Broham. Listen to WVDM today, and you will hear his music as well. This young man is also from the 757. And his name, so just in case you didn't know, and I like I said, I'm trying to bring you the music that you can help generate our artists. His name is Zay, Z-A-Y, Zay. And it's a good EP. I mean, he's working on the EP, but this single is very good. It's very good. And what we have to do is learn to support those people that are putting out good, positive energy music. Love songs, we got dance songs. And I'm just letting you know, it's not hard to do. Nothing is hard to do. But like I said, you got 3, 4 people, and I'm one that's asking for your support in the gifts that we have to present to the community, to the 757, VA 2 up and 2 down. If we can come together and support each other and show our young people that it's a better way, we can do a better job. And the election is around the corner. I'm asking all adults, if you got children, nieces, and nephews, that's going to be 18 years old in a few more weeks, to get them to DMV, to the registrar's office in your areas or which you live, and get them registered to vote for November. They can make history. And you say, everybody will make history if they vote. No. they'll be making history because they'll be the first time they was able to vote in their lives. All the other times growing up, it's their parents, their friends, their next door neighbors, or whoever was choosing the person that run the cities, the state, and the country. Now they have an opportunity to participate in this measure this November, only a few weeks away. Only a few weeks away. This is the first day of October. You got less than 30 days. They'll be able to go to the polls and register to vote. It's their future. It's their future, and we must encourage them to be a part of making history. They have to do the research. Tonight, you have the vice presidents that will be on at 8 o'clock on selective TV stations and cable channels. But what we must do is let them sit down and listen and compare the type of tone, the language, the rhetoric, and the things that's going to affect them if either one of the parties get in office and don't do what is required. They will suffer on a local level, 2 years, because every 2 years there's a new person on city council in different divisions. President is every 4 years. What must we do? What must we do to educate them? Sit down and talk, debate. Because if they learn how to debate with you, then they can do the same thing with their friends. They're not pulling out a gun on you. They're not using harsh words to you, but you are showing them that it's okay to sit down and have a discussion. I'm not looking to be right, because being right all the time is just too much weight, burden. Being wrong all the time is even more burden, because people lose their lives. We have a right to disagree. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm challenging you to look up research. And my sons, that's what they do. Dad, that ain't the way it works. Okay. Show me. We can have a discussion. I'm not trying to be right. I just want you to know that as long as you're thinking, I know that you'll be doing the right things. I love all my children, grandchildren, but they make their own choices. I will try to guide them in this movement of their footsteps. But at some point, your decisions is yours. You're the one that has to live with it. You're the one that made the choice. I'm just giving you enough information to say, think. You don't have to listen to what I say. You don't have to believe it. It's in a book. It's on the internet. Find it and make your choice. I'm just saying I love you enough to do just what I'm doing, because I want you to be an adult. I want you to be responsible in your choices and decisions, because I don't want you taking somebody's life, and I don't want you allowing somebody else to take your life, because everybody got an opinion. As they say, it's just like everybody got a butthole. You can't change. That's not going to change what the butthole is there for, what a penis is there for. There are consequences with everything we do and say. The choices is yours. I prefer to walk away. I prefer to say, hey, I'm wrong. I don't get upset. I just say, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I don't know. Scripture tell you, why would two people be in the vineyard arguing in the village with each other? How do you know which one is right? How do you know? It's the one that don't say nothing. The one that doesn't say anything is doing the right thing. He's not making a choice. This is the only thing that means something to me. Children. Children. They are the most valuable commodity on the planet. So when we have children, it is up to us to want to raise them to do the right thing. Raise them up. Train them while they're young so they won't go wrong. Old gospel song. Shame, shame on you. Children didn't ask to be, neither one of these children on this picture asked to be born. They just asked to be loved. They asked to be loved. And that's our job, is to love our children and others. Children as well. They're children. None of them has to be born. I don't care what titles you give them, black, white, what nationality, Chinese, Filipino, Puerto Rican, Latin, Greek. There's so many different nationalities. Neither one of them asked to be born. We are all human, but we did ask to be loved and respected. And that is what education is needed today. We can't stop some things. That's why you have a police force. That's their job. I ain't trying to tell you how to do your job. You're supposed to protect and serve. And to the young people out there, if you decide to pick up a gun, you're in their arena. What do you expect? Every police officer wants to go home at the end of his shift. You don't have a right, because people say, well, you know what your rights are. Well, he know what his rights is. He wanted to go home at the end of an 8-hour, 10-hour shift. He has the right to do that. And you don't have a right to take his life, because he represents the Constitution, the state laws, the city laws. You want to carry a gun? Join the police force. If you want to defend your country, join the military. Oh, they pay you to carry a gun. But you want to roll around in the dark and shoot people that don't have guns. Take people's lives because you didn't like what they said. You don't like them because somebody said of their color. Somebody told you that. You just looked at them. I don't like you. I ain't even said nothing to you. I never met you in my life, but you don't like me. Back in the day, I'm one of the few black people that ever played in a white club to a mostly white audience for over 8 years. In that whole experience, I never once did a white person come up to me and call me anything but Captain85. Never once. Some had invited me to their home, to parties, to events. I've wound up playing for a whole family. About 3 people in their family got married, and I played for 3 of their children's wedding. But I understand there are people that will call you the N word or whatever name they want to come up with. And I cry because I know he's in pain. I'm not crying because of what he calls me. Always remember this, young people, and to the adults. Tell your children this quote. Whatever somebody call you, you don't have to answer. You know what your name is. You know who child you is. You're a child of a living God who sent his son in the world, who came here and died on the cross so that you and I could have a chance for everlasting life. You know who you belong to. All you have to do is remember that and walk away. It doesn't hurt to walk away. But if you stay there when people are angry, they will hurt you. And then later on, after they think about it, or regardless of the circumstances, they'll be in pain. Nobody escapes. Nobody escapes pain. Afflicted on someone else. That person's in pain. That's why today is called mental health. Mental health issues. And we have to recognize that. We have to recognize the part that is a mental health issue. Like I said before, this book will go on sale after midnight, which will be Tuesday. And I hope, it'll be, today is Tuesday. Yesterday was Monday. Today is Tuesday. It will be Wednesday, midnight Wednesday, tonight after 12. And I hope that you purchase. I hope that you, once you receive it, that you enjoy it. And if you enjoy it, then there will be another one coming with different stories and scenarios. It's a program. I'm hoping to talk to some of the city departments, and hopefully that we can get this book in the library, hold an hour of program in the library or recreation center, because Community Action People is a nonprofit. And if you like to, buy a couple or more to give to someone else, it'll be greatly appreciated. There is a staff. The director name is Alice Vaughn, who is my wife. She's a director. And with money that I'll be able to put the employees in place that will be able to educate the program that is developed for the youth and adults to engage in conversation and discuss the scenarios and the stories that they're telling, and be able to bring it to life. By doing these activities. I hope I can get your support. Once again, it will go on sale after 12 tonight on Facebook. On my Facebook pages, there will be a link to my webpage that you'll be able to order. I want to thank each and every one of you for spending time to spend time with me today. Until the next time we meet, till the next time we